Good morning, guys. Okay, in the previous session, we stopped in the middle, right? We are continuing from that, and today we're going to discuss the some looping statements. That will be the control statement. We'll call it as a break, continue, and the return one statement is there. So we'll discuss them, and after that, we'll go to that scanner class and how can we take the dynamic inputs and all. Okay, right. First, we'll directly move to the break statement and all. Why the break statement we need is right. Okay, first we see that break statement. Break statement, why it is helpful to you is suppose. Okay. Right. First we'll see that what the break statement it is. Break statement, why it helps to is suppose you have a one loop. You don't know where to stop. Suppose you don't know the range to define the loop. Suppose I am not intent to between the 1 to 10 I am not intent to print. That means I don't know the range. I don't know about the range. If you don't know about the range means that time it will your loop goes to the infinite loop. To avoiding that cases, intent to you are breaking the loop in a between the execution. During the execution you have to come out from your loop. The break statement will help to you. That is the purpose to break. Already we see the break statement in the switch case, right? In the switch case also we see the break statement, why it how it we use. Every case we write the break statement. If you don't write the break statement, it will execute the all cases, right? Like the same way, why it will happen, the break statement, if after executing the one case it will break the entire switch and come out. Like that here also, for breaking the loop, the break statement helps to you. Okay, break statement helps to come out from the executing loop during execution. Right. We'll see one example on a break, then it will help better understand you, right? Tomorrow yesterday we leave it here, right? Okay. First we see yesterday what we left. We are taking one fact variable 1, k is 1, I is 7. That means I have to find the factorial value, right? And the k has to increment, right? So k plus plus, right? And sys out of fact, right? Then simply it will print the 5040, the factor value of a 7. The same code for the factorial I can write through for loop. Then you can observe the difference between a while loop and the for loop. Okay, simply I can take for int I equals to 1 to I less than or equals to 7, I plus plus. Already I is used, right? So I'll go with j less than or equals to, I'll find the 5 factor value, then it will be good, right? 5 j plus plus Simply I can take the fact 1 here. Fact 1 equals to 1. It is a type of integer. Fact 1 equals to 1 and fact equals to fact into j. Sorry, fact 1 into j, right? Sys out of fact 1, right? The same code for the factorial finding, it is one by using the while loop, it is by using the for loop. Which one will be the easy of writing? For loop, right? That means you can execute one code with a for loop and a while loop. It's not an issue, but you have to understand when can I use while loop, when can I use for loop. If you know the range to perform an execution, for loop is better to you. If you don't know about the range, you know the condition only, then while loop will benefit to you. Okay, right? We missed yesterday this. Right, now we will discuss that break statement. Go to the new, go to the class, that will be the statements and public static void main, right? The simple statement like suppose I am intend to in the same for loop for int I equals to 0, I less than or equals to 10, I plus plus. I am defining this range only, but my intent now is I have to print till 5, not enter 10. That means I am coming out from the loop before the range. Then how can I write that is, suppose I can simply write sys out of I for printing that I value, and I have to break, right? When I have to break, if I equals to 5, then I have to break. If I equals to 5, then I have to break. That means if I becomes 5, then it will comes out from the loop. That means it will not execute for the 6th and 7th and 8th and 9th. That means you have some range, but before the range you have to come out from your loop. In that case, the break statement helps to come or execute this. Okay, now we can execute this one, right? We are coming this to now we will see that continue. Simply we will call this break statement as terminates the loop. Terminates the entire loop. Okay, terminates the entire loop. Next, continue statement. The difference between the break statement and the continue statement is the break statement, what it do, it skips the current iteration, right? We will see that one. Right. The same case, now my intent is I have to print the 0 to 10 values, but I am not printing the multiples of 3. I am not wish to print the multiples of 3. You understand my point, right? I have to print the 0 to 10, but I am not printing the 3 multiples like 3, 6, 9. I have to skip these iterations. then continue will help to me, right? For int I equals to 0, same I less than or equals to 10, I plus plus, right? And system.out.println, okay, we'll do one. If I modulus 3, if 3 multiple means that remainder will be the 3, that remainder will be the 0, right, when you are modulus division with a 3. So in that case you have to continue, else sys out of I, right? It will come 3, right? I am writing if, but I am not write this in a else, because of that it will skip that if loop, not that current iteration, right? Okay. Right. Here we can get the output, right? You can observe. What I do is sys out of continue, okay? Then you can differentiate the output of continue and the break, right? You can observe this 3, it will not print, and what it not print, 6, 9, and also it will not print 0 also, right? Why? 0 modulus 3 enter will be the 0, right? So because of this also it will be the thing, right? That means continue statement, what it do is it will skip one iteration, it will skip third iteration, it will skip sixth iteration, it will skip ninth iteration. When this particular condition meets, then skip the iteration happens. That means its statement not execute. Suppose if I write this statement above if, then you can observe the output. It will print 0, 3, 1. Why? Because after printing this, it will check this condition meets or not. Like a interpreter. Interpreter, what it do is executing line by line. That means after completion of this statement only, it will comes to here. So it will print 3. After that, it will check. That means after this continue statements not will work. You have to observe that one, right? Because of that I am writing. Why I am writing here and why I am not writing here. You can observe this here also. I am what I am saying, if I equals to 5, then break. Because of that it will print 5 first, and I becomes 5, it will break the statement. Okay. Suppose if I write this statement below here, it will stops to print with the 4 only. Why? Because break statement happens, it will come out the loop, so not execute the after enter statements. Right? This is the difference between the break and the continue. That means why this helps to is when you are dealing with the trees and the graphs and the collections based on a logic, when you are real world entities, sometimes you have to skip the iteration, sometimes you have to break from the loops. When particular condition means you have to come out from the loop. That's the case. When you are dealing with the methods and the recursion topics also, then the break statements and the continue statements and the return statement will help you. We already seen the return statement in the methods. Return will returns from the loop. Okay, that is the thing. Okay. Till this we observe one thing. From the starting of the classes, we are taking the inputs like int I equals to 3, like a fixed values. Suppose my intent to change the values for every execution, right? When I do a program means you are not doing the program for the fixed values, right? That program has to be performed for the different values, not for the exact entities. For that we have to give the inputs dynamically, like a runtime inputs. We are calling this as a runtime inputs. Suppose before we are writing the program for the calculation of the what it is this one factorial program, right? For that we are first defining the to which number we have to calculate the factorial. Suppose my intent to change after execution to 7 to 9, then I have to change this I value to the 9, or I can change to the 11. That means I have to change manually to this. That means these are called as a compile time declaration. We are assigning the values. In that case, we are taking the inputs dynamically. For that, we need scanner classes and all. What that scanner class and where it comes, we'll see. Okay? Why? Because from this onwards, we are dealing with the only dynamic input taking. Right? For that, I am creating one class. My class will be the name with a scanner or a dynamic input. Okay, scanner will be the keyword. Dynamic input. Right. Oh shit. I have to write my again public static void main. Public static void main of string args. Right. Like this way I am creating one major class. Now this is one class, right? This class is called user defined class. This class is a user defined class. Everything has a two types. One was the user defined, one was a pre-built or the built-in. Like we have a one scanner built-in class. Scanner built-in class. By using the scanner built-in class only, we are able to use. Suppose if you are writing this system dot out dot println, right? Suppose hello. In this system is one class. System is one class. Out is one output stream. Println is a printing way. We have the println, printf also is there. Println is for after printing this comes to the new line. If you write print, it will be in the same line only. That is the difference. If you observe here, it is a system class. How can we get this is place the cursor here, control click. If you go with the control click, then it will shows it was a predefined function, right? That means the Java developer can write the execution for this inbuilt. When you are installing the JDK, then it will comes to you. We'll see what they write. Final class as a system. In the system also registration node static. If you observe this, it was a static. That means we are not creating any object for that. Private system. Why we are using the system is system. Input stream in. If you observe input stream in, why we use input stream in, and output stream out is there. This all can you print. Output stream out is there. For this you can write system.out.println. Like this, when you are dealing with the inputs, you can write system.in. Why? Because for output stream you can write out. For taking the inputs you can write in. That is the thing, right? Now how can we take the inputs is simply you can write the scanner class. Scanner. When you are writing the predefined classes, the first letter will be the capital. If you observe this, string is also one class, not a data type. String is also one class. In this string also first letter is capital. Okay. User defined classes will be your wish. You can write with a small or you can write with a capital. It will be the different thing. But the predefined classes always start with a capital letter. Okay. Scanner. Suppose it was a class. Suppose the dynamic input is also a class, right? How can you create an object for this? Simply you can write dynamic input. Suppose the D1 is an object reference equals to new dynamic INPT, right? Like this you can create the object for a class. It is a user defined class, right? Okay. it is a user defined class. We are creating object like this. Also, for the predefined classes also, we have to create the object here. How can we create an object for this scanner class? Is same. In the user defined class name, you have a predefined class name scanner. Suppose I can take like a SC or SC1, anything. It will be the reference variable only. Equals to new. What the new is actually do is, new is allocating the memory or creating the object. New keyword is helps to creating the object or allocating memory. New, simply scanner. Scanner of. Right? Right, wait. But in the scanner you have to pass one parameter. That one is system.in. Why? Because you are telling to the compiler, you are taking this as a input stream as a object. And why this will come is, suppose it is a predefined class, means it exists in some package in your Java. Okay, it exists some in the package in a Java. How can you import that? Import is nothing but a, suppose how it will actually like is, if you observe, you have a JDK, JVM, JRE and JVM. JDK contains your entire packages and the tools. So you have to import into your JVM that all the things. So normally it is a class file, right? It is a class file. The dynamic input.java is one class file. This class file is in a package. This package is in a project. This entire project is in a one workspace. Okay, workspace is nothing but a environment, JRE environment. Like this, you have one package, predefined Java system library JRE package. From that package, you have to import this class. That means suppose it was in your this package, com.now package, you can simply write like this. But it is other than your bonds. That means other than your limits. So you have to import from this library. Okay. Suppose if it was in a com.now, then you can easily write do while of as dot, and you can create an object for that and you can call it. But this scanner class lies in a outside your com.now package. So you have to import that from that package. How can you import it? Simply you can place the cursor. It will shows the how to fix, or else you can write import java.util. Java is a environment. In that environment, util is one package. Okay, util is one package. Util star means what are the classes in that util package. Entire thing will become util star means. You can simply want only one class, then you can write like this one with a class name, like scanner and all. We can see this scanner class where it lies also. Okay, scanner class, input stream, source. Scanner is a class, like a method. Here it is a method. Here it is a class. Here it is a method. For that method, you are passing the one parameter input stream and the source. Okay, it will be returns the input stream reader and all. Right. Suppose if you observe where it is a here you can observe this, right? Public final. It is a class. In this class, you have this new method scanner. This entire class will be in a package of java.util. Java.util package. Like this, where we are see, you can write package com.now, right? But here you also see package java.util. That means it was in that package, so you can write IO, math, NIO channels. It all can be, you can access, right? That means if you are not in the limits, you can access one class or a package, you can import it. Import statement helps to do this. import java.util.scanner. Java.util is one package. From that package you are import your scanner class and you are creating object, right? It is fine. Now we have to check how can we take the inputs, right? How can we take the inputs? Suppose I have to take the integer input. Integer input. How can I declare int I equals to or int a equals to 10? In before we did like this, right? Int a equals to 10 like this. But I am not defining a value here. I have to read. Right? I have to read this. How can I read this is, suppose you want to read a value, a equals to sc dot next int. Next int is a method to read the integer. Next int is method to read the integer, right? And I can print here as a sysout of a, control S, and save this file, run it. Hello it will print, and it will not shows the thing, so all right. That means it will shows the only cursor to read that, but we have to analyze. Then you can write how can we sysout of enter number. That means you are indicating, suppose you are aware about the C language or a Python language, then you can understand. In the C language or a Python language, you are writing in before the one statement to did this input of enter a number or printf enter a number in a C, like this you can write, right? Or like that in the Java also you have to user, you have to intimate user what you have to enter, right? Then or I can go with the 14, it will print 14, right? Dynamic element. That means every time when I rerun, I can enter a new value to this A, not fixing with 1, 10 or 11 or 13. It was a dynamic inputs. That means every time the value can be changed. You are not allocating the memory, right, for the fixed value. It is the thing. It is the reading of a integer, right? Integer reading. Now we see with the string. Suppose float. If you are deal with the float, next float. If you are deal with the double, next double. If you are deal with the boolean, next boolean. Okay, we'll check enter thing as a quick. Okay, that means suppose you are declaring here and initializing there. It's not an issue. You can write like this also. Int a equals to. It is also fine. Int a equals to. Yeah. We'll discuss the how can we read the string also. Okay. Suppose I want to read a string. System dot out dot println of enter string. Suppose enter string. Okay. Enter string. Then how can I take it is as a suppose string s1 equals to string s1 equals to string s1 equals to next sc dot next line. Okay, sc dot next line. I can print sysout enter string. Okay, sorry. Your string, anything. I have to print it. Your string plus equals to s1 is my variable, right? So s1 and I'll run this. Hello, enter a number, then it will be the 15. Okay, it will print 15 and sorry. Okay, it will directly comes to here without taking the input. Wait a minute. Okay. Your string hello one. Next and next line is different. Next line means what that next line do is, next line takes the entire thing. That means suppose if I have to read like hello one coming, it is one entire string I have to read. I wish to read this entire string. Next line will be helps to you. Why this when I write next line here, it will print nothing. Why? Because it will read empty space as a character. It will read empty space as a character and print directly your string, and it will not throw any error also. Suppose if it will not read anything means, if I try to print this s1, it has to throw an error, right? You are not initializing any with s1, but it will not throw any error. That means when you are using the next line, it will takes the space as a character. Because of this, you have to read the string, then you can go with the sc dot next every time. Okay, sc dot next, right? And suppose sc dot next line will be works here. How it will works here is suppose string s1 equals to sc dot next line. Okay, if I write here, it will throw an error. Why? Because in before I am not creating any object to that, so I can call here sc dot next line of okay, here also s1 now, go with the s2 thing. Okay, sys out. Okay, okay, I'll check. Sys out of s2 I have to print here, and I'll check once. Right. Your string search hello one here. Okay, why? If you write next line here, then it will takes empty space as a reading value, so it will print empty space. That means if you have to intend to read with the next line like this entire string, then you can declare in a top. Okay, you have to declare in the top. Okay, next line and next will help to read these strings, but next line read with the space, next not read with the space. If you are try to read this search, okay, I'll rerun once. I'll show if I do with, okay. This is next line, okay, and I'll go with the number 23, and I'll enter the search software, search space software. If you observe, if I read with the sc.next search software, but it will take to till search only. Okay, if you have to read the sentence, then you can use must next line. That is the difference between next line and next. Next line only, next line reads with spaces also. Next only reads till to the first space. Till to the first space. That means only read one word. Okay. Observe. Right. This is the difference. Suppose you have to read the float value. You can write float. Right. Float. Okay. Wait. I have to change the data type here also to the float. Okay, I have to enter the values right. Hello one where 25.9, yeah, 25.9 it will print, and query, right, query, it will comes, right, entire thing will be print. You have to observe the thing is, you have to read the double, then you can go with the double here with a capital D. If you want the boolean, go with the boolean capital B. Okay, that is the thing with the entire thing. I think time is 10:20. We'll stop here, but you can go with one thing. Suppose we'll execute some method and all, like a ticket and anything. It will take hardly 5 minutes, right? Suppose we'll comment it. My wish is I have to execute the deposit method in a banking system. Okay. Deposit method in a banking. Suppose what I have to read is okay. I'll declare one method, public void deposit. Okay. In the deposit, I am not passing any money. Okay. If I am not passing any money, then what I have to do is, okay, and try to write a method inside a method. Okay. In this deposit method only, I have to pass one amount int AMT. Okay. I am initializing one balance int balance equals to 50,000. Okay, right? And I am in the deposit. What you have to do? Balance plus if, suppose if balance greater than 0. Sorry. Okay. If anything balance, you can update, right? So no need of if condition. So balance plus equals to AMT. That will be the amount. But I have to call the thing, means I have to create object to this. Control C and creating scanner class, and I have to create a object for the dynamic input also. Why? Because I have to call that non-static method deposit, right? So it will object creation D1. Simply I can call D1 dot deposit. But for the deposit, I have to pass the amount, right? In before, what we do, we can pass 500 like this. You can pass here directly. But instead of that, we have to read one variable amount equals to, I can read with the integer. Okay, sc dot next int. Okay, sc dot next int. Then it will read a integer value, but I have to write like sysout enter amount to deposit, enter amount to deposit, right? Enter amount to deposit, and I have to pass this amount here, right? Control S. Balance before the deposit plus means I have to print the balance, right? And the same thing, balance after deposit, right? Control C, Control V. Balance after deposit, right? I think I'm done. Once I'll run this, okay, I'm maximize this, enter amount to deposit, right? It will be the 500, then it will print 5,000, 50,000 and 50,500, right? Already we execute this banking system and everything, but at the time we are taking the dynamic compile time inputs. Here we can take the dynamic inputs, right? Like this, you can do for the another task in a assignment for a bus ticket and all. You can read the number of seats or the number of passengers in that, and ticket price for the seat, and how much amount the bus driver can get or conductor can get, right? You can calculate it. Okay. Right, I'll share it in an assignment. Okay, we'll end up with this with today, and we'll go, right.